A near mint Giovanni's Charisma from 151 is $12. $12. From that same set, the Zapdos EX Special Illustration Rare just skyrocketed from $58 on the 21st of August to $95 today. You don't need to be a trust fund baby to invest in Pokemon. You just need to spot the next domino before it falls. Here are 12 Special Illustration Rares you can still grab for under $30, plus one that's already nudging $50, but it's going so fast, you'll forgive the cheat. Prices are based off a TCG player market as of this morning, September 10th. But Pokemon prices are going crazy right now, so I wouldn't be surprised if they've already gone up. I ran every Special Illustration Rare from Scarlet and Violet under $30 through 3 filters. Shrinking supply on TCG Player and eBay. Special Illustration Rares with connected artwork to other illustration rares. And either a fan favorite Pokemon or a trainer with cross-generational clout. These 12 survived. Is the Quaquaval EX from Paldea Evolved. This is the water starter. Quaxley is the actual starter. The SIR is great. The artwork connects with Quaxley and Quaxwell. They're all looking in the mirror doing different things. The cool thing is it's almost like a child growing up when you click through them quickly, like I showed over here on the left. And the other thing I like is the cabinets open and close as you go through them. This one's super cheap. It's under $9. And you can see in the past year, it did push $16, with some being sold at $20, which would meet the doubling price point. You can see it kind of flattened out here. And that's what I look for after a card drops. With the end of Scarlet and Violet coming soon, Paldea Evolved reprints, who knows if they're coming, but they're going to stop pretty soon. All that's going to do is cause our supply to shrink and our demand to go up. This is something that I do see pushing $20, if not by the end of 2025, within 2026 for sure. Form of Sprigatito, the grass starter in Paldea, is Meowscarada. This card is pushing $20 right now. This is one that it got up to 25 in the craziness of the spring, but it's only dropped $7 since then. Another card, connected artwork with the starters. The Sprigatito will set you back $20 if you're looking to complete the trio, but this one is actually one that is worth looking for possible PSA 10s. PSA has about 3,500 submissions. Over half, about 1,800, have come back PSA 10. The difference with this and Quaxwell is that there is demand for it. All of the PSA 10s sold well over $100 recently on eBay, ranging anywhere from $110 to $115. That is one thing that I do look for when I'm looking if I want to send in a card to PSA to get it graded. When it comes back PSA 10, is it over $100 or under $100? Our final starter from Paldea is the fire type. Skeledirge evolves from Fuecoco. This is the most expensive of the 3 SIRs, and this one's coming in at $22. So you can expect to pay $23. The thing with this is most of the cards on sale are $23 or above, and if you notice, this is one of the ones that's under 100 listings, so the supply is definitely shrinking up, and this one will cost you the most to complete the trio. The Fuecoco is over $25 right now, and then the Crocolore is right around $10, so you're looking at about $60 to complete the 3. This is just like the Quaquaval, where grading this out is not worth your time right now. They're over half are PSA 10, and unlike the Meowscarada, This one does not come in over $100 on eBay. All of the most recent completed sales are right at or around $90. So this is definitely one where we're just collecting near mint, trying to get that double price up to $50 within the year. First non-starter is Eiscue from Obsidian Flames, and this is a Terra Pokemon. Terra Pokemon were introduced in Scarlet Violet, and they feature a unique crystal design. It's more than just looks. The Terra types are competitive game changers. It grants Pokemon a new type for a strategic advantage. And this one gets protection from damage while on the bench. Since both collectors and players are chasing these, the demand is high. For $5, it's a buy low, and even if you lose a couple bucks, it's not like you're risking a whole bunch. This one I see a lot on X posts where people ask to see what's an underrated card. So whenever I see stuff like that, it is something that I do try to track because I feel like eventually it catches on. And doubling to $10 to $12 within the next year, I don't see it is not happening, but it's just something that's awesome. It is a little bit higher on my list with 171 listings, but as you can see, it got up to over almost $7, so the doubling is a definite possibility, and it's just something if you want a cheap SIR also. Giovanni's Charisma. It's only $12. It's from the hottest set of Scarlet and Violet 151. You get Kanto Nostalgia plus a villain factor. Also, trainer cards with characters, they age like wine. Collectors love framing the bad guys. The Zapdos EX just shot up, and I realize that's a character. It went up to $95 since the end of August. I do believe that eventually this is the next one to go up, and it's at an eighth of the price. Now, the one thing about this, it does have a lot of listings at 210. Within the past year, it got up to over $37. So it's a third of the value that it was selling at. And the other thing is, PSA 10s are actually a bargain right now if you're a slab collector. Only less than a quarter. So there's been about 9,000 submitted. Only around 2,000 have come back PSA 10s. You can get them on eBay right now for $90. There's only one outlier that I saw from the PSA Vault that sold a couple days ago for $210, but every other one is between $90 and $110. When you put that kind of small supply, this will have demand as we get further from Scarlet and Violet. I think it's a almost definite buy now. It's something I'll be looking for this weekend when I head out to the Genesis card show here in Vegas. Number 6 is Grusha at $13. Now, you see the price over there. It says $16. I don't know why they always do that, but there are some available for around $13. This is one of the lower ones with only 113 listings. The thing that I do love about this card is if you look up in the top right corner, Glaceon is staring out of the window, as well as Starlies are on the bottom left of the card. But the Glaceon, unless you really look hard, it's something easy to overlook. And as we all know, evolutions do have a place in collectors' hearts. And when you look at where this was within the past year, it did get up to nearly $17. Which means we're about $4 or $5 below its high. Along with everything else, this is something that it is speculation with me, but SIRs are new to Scarlet and Violet, just like my love for the promos out of the Elite Trainer boxes. I have a feeling that as we get further away, there is going to be a collector demand for the original SIRs, especially with how crazy the market is and how hard I presume the Mega Evolution sets are going to be. People might just go back to collecting singles as much as they can. This one is not worth sending in for PSA 10s. Under half of them do come back PSA 10, but the return is under $100. They're selling between $90 and $95. So definitely, it's not something you want to send in. But if you're a PSA 10 collector, it may be something you want to look into buying without having to send in your own and gambling. Trainer for last with Clive from Paldea Fates. This one is only $15. I absolutely love this card. It's the lowest population for listings with only 68, which is an alert right away. It sets an alert to me. And I have seen it a couple times in person. I regret not buying it yet. It is something I will be looking out for this weekend. What makes this card so special? One, the artwork's awesome, the cartooniness of it all, but it's got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 trainers on there and tons of Pokemon. It's got Penny with her Eevee phone, Sylveon standing right next to her. You got Psyduck with his classic pose at the bottom left of the card. You got the Applins sneaking in the tree, and you even got our favorite meme guy, Lechonk, right there in the middle behind Clive. This card is a definite get. It is not worth it to send it in for PSA grading. Over half come back PSA 10, and you're not getting much return on your investment. They do sell for under $100, which is our threshold on eBay. So it may be something to hold off on. Same thing if you're a PSA 10 collector. It may be a bargain you're looking for under $100. At 8 on our list is Koraidon EX. It's coming in around $17, $18, so it's still under $20. It's the legend, one of the legendaries, and it is the face of Scarlet. The demand is baked into the brand forever. We are on the backside of the reprint wave. So, and I doubt they're going to release any more Scarlet and Violet. They did have a couple booster bundles at Target in the spring. However, one of the alarms bells that goes off for me is when I see 76 listings on TCG Player. This is kind of the pattern I saw with the Pokemon Center stamp promos, is that they whittle down, and as the supply goes down, the demand goes up. So to be able to get this one at under $17 right now is a bargain. When you throw in the PSA factor, it adds even more collectability. The under half of the submissions, it's right around half, come back PSA 10, but it is well over the $100 threshold. Most of the recent sales are between $140 and $160. So you got a 50-50 shot of getting a PSA 10, assuming you follow the guidelines I set in the previous video. And you have a $25 PSA fee, you have a chance to make some big-time money on this card. $26, you can get number 9, Koraidon EX. It's the same logic, different color. Together, you get pure exposure to every future Scarlet and Violet nostalgia boom. History, hint. When Sun and Moon ended, both Solgaleo and Lunala GX doubled within a year. We're watching the same movie in HD. And with this one has even less listings than the Koraidon. So again, I will be looking for this. This has actually been on my radar a little bit. It keeps on popping up whenever I search for certain things. And unfortunately, we did miss the dip. It was up to 26 and it had gotten down to $18. And it's found its way back up to 24. It's probably going to cost 25. But I don't see this not getting to $50 within the next year, especially when you put in this low sale supply. Definitely one you want to get. This one is also a candidate for you to send in for PSA. If you're able to find a clean copy, they're just under half of the 7,400 that have been sent in. It's about 3,400 have come back Gem Mint 10. Most of the sales recently have been between $140 and $160. However, the last two have sold for over $200, so it's definitely something I'm going to be monitoring to see if that's a new trend or if that's just a blip, an accidental buy of $200, but it's definitely something to keep track of. Also on the card, you have Dachshund in it, or Dachshund. always, whenever you combine an extra Pokemon in the card, it adds that extra little bit of collectability. Next, we have, we only have 3 left. We have Sinistcha EX at $22. This is paired with the Poltergeist IR in a 2-card lore loop. It connects when the guy in the Sinistcha, the man is old and he's looking back at pictures of when he was a kid, including when he was with Poltergeist in the IR card. So it's a little loop, and whenever connected artwork equals set completion anxiety, it equals premiums. Once the next expansion hits, these tiny arcs become the chase. I think the target for this card is $35 by Christmas. Next, we have, we only have 3 left. We have Sinistcha EX at $22. This is paired with the Poltergeist IR. To last is the Gholdengo EX from Paradox Rift. This is also the last of the art combos. This one pairs awesomely with Gimmighoul when you stack them on top of each other. This one's $30. The Gimmighoul you can get for about $11, $12. I love this card. The Gholdengo EX is also very playable, which makes it a hit with collectors and TCG players, making it a double investment. The PSA, there's been about 3,000 graded, and 1,000 have come back PSA 10. It does hit our threshold of $100. The last couple have sold between $120 and $130, which they've actually gone up from $100 at the beginning of the month. So they are rising in value. This is something you definitely want to keep an eye on. And also, when you look at it for a year, it did have the slow climb, the jump, and then that spring jump, it dropped a little bit at the end of the spring, and it's kind of flatlined to the $30 mark. And like I've said, whenever you see this plateau, it is something that I do think it stabilizes the market. And with the end of Scarlet and Violet, you guys heard me say it before, the value is only going to increase once we get out of the Scarlet and Violet era. I think if this hits $45, $50 by December, we'll be sitting pretty. One on our list squeaks in at the $30 mark. Although the market right now is 16 cents over, I feel like someone would give it to you for $30. It is a Garchomp from Paradox Rift. There are only 67 listings on TCG Player. Low supply. The demand is going to go up with the closing of Scarlet and Violet era. If you look at the year, it did get above $50, barely, but it did get above $50, and you can see one sold for $69.87. So the potential is there for it to double up to $60. It made the dip, like a lot of the cards we've gone over in the previous videos. It flatlined a little bit, and now the by the dip, it is starting to go back up. So we did miss the true dip. It's gone up $4 since its lowest point. However, you throw in the end of the Scarlet and Violet era, the low supply, the increasing demand, and the scarcity of SIRs, this is definitely a card to keep your eye on, and something that if you see for market price, I believe it's something you got to buy. PSAs, only about a third of them have come back Gem Mint 10. There are about 1,000 in existence. On eBay, they are starting to close in on $200. So a $30 card, you invest $25 into the grading. If you find a clean copy, that you're almost quadrupling your money before the jump begins. So this is definitely high on my list, and one I'm excited to get my hands on. Bonus, I know it's over the budget. Alakazam, the EX 201 from 151, it's coming in at $46. It's under the Pages $50 budget, but 151 is on fire right now. This is the last one that really hasn't truly taken off, in my opinion. of the Pokemon SIRs. The Zapdos was sitting around $50 for a long time, and it just shot up to $90. This is next. People that missed out on the Zapdos are going to target this. As you can see in the early spring, late winter window, it did jump up to 57, including some that sold close to $80. And then the supply is low with only 83 listings on TCG Player. And the kicker for this is the price if you're able to get a PSA 10. There's been over 26,000 submitted. A little over 8,000 have come back PSA 10. If you're able to snag a PSA 10, your $45 card just became a $350 card. The last several on eBay have sold for over $350. This is definitely something I'm going to keep my eye out for this weekend at the card show. I also feel with the coming of Mega Evolutions and the Alakazam promo coming, a lot of people aren't too hyped about that promo card. I think they're going to come back to this one as a way to get a piece of the Alakazam. So this is definitely one to keep an eye out for and snag it if you get a chance. Tell me in the comments which card you're looking at first. I read every post, and if you have a different take on a card, I'll drop you a heart. Smash subscribe if you want more monthly analysis before these prices go up. Okay, don't get me wrong. These are beautiful cards, but you don't need these Charizard Special Illustration Rares to bank serious gains. You need conviction while prices are boring. These 12 SIRs check every box. Low float, killer art, and their beloved Pokemon or trainers, and they're all under $30 today. Pick your 3 favorites, set your eBay alerts, and thank yourself when the next reprint wave is ancient history. If you want some more bargains to look for, click on this video here, and you can thank yourself later. Until next time, keep collecting.